Should put makeup on. I forget you record these.
Put a cute little filter on you. You look adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're here. I hope you guys are doing well. Well, I wanted to do my holla because I know some people do watch the playback, and I think it's important for us to toot our own horns or have someone toot your horn for you. So I pulled this up. Let me see. All right, here are our active peeps. We have Anna and Christy and Heather T, Roxanne, Michelle, holla. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. We gotta get my
Oh,
disco ball.
Strobe light.
Yeah.
Disco ball. Yeah.
Okay. It would be so much better if I didn't have bright light in here, but whatever.
Oh, you're frozen.
All right, good job, Michelle. I'm proud of you. Mary,
Thank you.
Morgan, woo woo, and Heather S. Yeah, and Leslie. We got little disco ball. Leslie is over 500, so that's exciting. And these are my over 500 so far. Tracy, Heather W, and Kara, and Talissa, and Amy. And me, yay! So very good job. Everybody's active, and we've got a few people that are really close, and I'm sure by the end of the month will be. So that's fantastic. I wanted to do something the last couple of weeks and I forgot, but I know there's only 2 of you, and if it makes you uncomfortable, please don't feel obligated. But I thought it would be nice to see if anybody had any prayer requests as a team. Anybody have any individual prayer requests on your heart or your mind, or anybody? And we just take some time to write down and think of that through the week. I have one. My best friend's brother, who is probably like 39, came down with COVID. And the interesting thing was he works at Exxon. And so he's in a control room. And so the guy he works with had it, didn't realize it. Eric was due to get the COVID vaccine, and he didn't have any symptoms. So instead of testing him, they gave him the vaccine. And then a couple days later, he was really sick and he tested positive. So he is not doing super great. They had to put him in the hospital, and he's got some other conditions. So that's on my heart. If you guys, his name is Eric, and he's kind of like a pseudo little brother to me, and it's pretty sad, stressful. His wife also has it right now. Thankfully, she's not as bad off. One of the kids has it too, but she's feeling okay. So anyway, anybody have anything they would like to share? Like I said, it's zero pressure and it's totally on the spot. But I just
went blank. I know, I'm sure I do.
Fine. We'll just plan to do that, I think. And nobody that feels uncomfortable ever has to share anything. But if y'all don't mind praying for Eric, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
So I have a house point update.
I would take some prayers for here at work.
Okay. And
where do you work at?
I don't know what's going on. I work at a condominium complex on the seawall here in Galveston. Right now it's like the board of the HOA are literally a house divided. There's a lot of hate and discontent going on, and then they're coming really hard down on our manager, who's super sweet girls, 100% vested into God, but they're just pulling her at both ends. And it's definitely a liberal Republican pull, and it's all over the masks. It's over isolation and it's really uncomfortable. There's a lot of turmoil here right now, and it's not the greatest place to work at the moment. It usually is. I've been here a year. Tuesday will be my year. I gotta answer the phone.
Well, we will definitely keep that in our prayers too, because that is hard when that's the environment that you have to be in. I know she's on the phone now. Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Good to see
Sorry
you.
I'm late. I was out riding bikes with my son.
That's a good thing. It's a beautiful day. You should be. That's awesome.
The only way I can get up the hills is I got an electric bike for Christmas.
Oh, you cheater. No, I was kidding. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to see you. Heather, we will keep that in our prayers for sure. It looks like you're having to go on and off. Yeah. We were taking prayer requests. It's just something I decided that we're going to do. If you have anything, feel free to share at any point.
Well, my one of my front desk in Liberty Hill, her daughter's been in the hospital for the last, it's going on 4 weeks now. She's been out. It's been crazy for me because
COVID?
I've been there.
Mhm.
She's an adult. I mean, she's in her 20s, but I don't really know the full story, but she was on a ventilator until last week, and it's not COVID. So
Okay.
they don't
It's been really hard
know
to
if
at
she
work.
took too much of her meds or not enough of her meds.
Gracious.
And she hasn't been there for me to like have a conversation with her. So yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well,
Well,
it's been kind of crazy. I feel very behind on lots of things, and
well,
I'm like
I'm sure
exhausted when I get home. So
yeah, I understand. Well, then we'll pray for you too. Kind of work stress all around, it sounds like.
yes.
All right. Well, the other thing is we have updated house points. And so there weren't a ton because I had never tallied the week before. And then I kind of just sloughed off spring break because like a lot of us were on spring break. And so I appreciate everybody understanding in that. But we had changes mainly from comments. I don't think really many people did many of the challenges from week 3. So most of the points that changed were really interaction and Zoom and participation. So, and then like Michelle, who just got on and went live, she got some big points for herself and her.
Oh, yay.
That was really good. And I actually started replying to that a couple times and never hit submit, I don't think, but that was awesome. And I'm gonna go back and watch it again because I was like, there's some things in there I need a copy of. I'm like, those are good. So thanks
I'm
for
gonna try
doing
to do it. Yeah, I'm going to try to do it more. I'm trying
Really?
to, get
Thankful for that.
just practice and,
Yeah, of you.
so it
You're
gets
awesome.
easier.
Good at it. You're awesome. All right. So Hufflepuff went up to 975. In third place, we have Slytherin at 1300. And Gryffindor is in second at 1810. And Ravenclaw is holding the lead. But listen to this, 2276. Holla. Good job,
That's
Ravenclaw.
is that my group or is that her group?
I think it's yours.
Mine
Okay.
is Slytherin, yeah.
Okay, I keep getting confused. Like I'm not a Harry Potter person, and I'm like, which one am I?
You're Ravenclaw. And it's funny because I actually think that's what your house would be. I didn't really do that. I didn't sort it by like who, I just kind of did even houses and then kind of randomly did it. But I think you really would be a Ravenclaw. So I think that's funny. Anyway, all right. And then this week I decided to kind of tally up who had the most points individually. So these are what I'm calling my top 10 contributors to their house points. So I'm going to go 10-1 to build the drama. Okay. So these are the people who are really, there's a combination of factors because if you think about it, we have a lot of interaction posts. We have some from completing tasks. We have some from being on Zooms, things like that. But we also have points that were given for promotions and February sales and stuff. So that's how these people are in the top 10 right now. And I'm going to go from 10-1. Leslie Steele, Roxanne Parker, Shannon Smith, holla, Tracy Rollins, Melanie, Amy Hansen, Morgan, Annie Whitley. That's awesome. She's my frontline and she's number 3. Heather Smith, woohoo, and Michelle Rockman, number uno.
Really?
You're number 1.
I don't know how I
Because you
did
didn't lie.
that.
I'm wearing my wax boss shirt today.
Oh, I love it. That's great. Good job, Michelle. Thank you for being such a good leader and team player and all the good things. So
thank you.
I'll do that maybe each week. I think it's kind of fun. Top 10, see who's really, and it'll change. Like when we finish out March and we put in everybody's sales and points, all the houses could change significantly. If some people start doing some of the challenges, that'll change quickly. So I'm proud of y'all. Okay. I had printed this out, but my printer printed poorly. So today we were going to talk about customers in general, customer base, customer like practices, ways to get new customers. And I just want to, especially because I've got you pros on here, I'm going to take notes too, and they're going to go in. So when I was thinking about it, I just made some points. I like to do this with y'all with an outline, add your thoughts, and then I'll do my official recorded nice one that I'll put on YouTube with kind of more of the tips in there. But when you think of customers, y'all tell me some of the things you think of. Like when you think of customers, how are you with your customers? Or, I mean, what comes to mind? Y'all been doing this a while.
I mean, I feel like my regulars, I'm, pretty close with, and, friends with them, and,
Excuse me.
I try to,
Yeah, that's good.
give them all kinds of, like, I try to, spoil them a little and make sure they always have the new samples and, the monthly samples.
Michelle, do you feel like you're bothering them when you do that?
No, not at all. Not when I'm giving them extra free stuff.
Right.
No, I mean, and I sometimes I hesitate, like, because I have Amy, the app, but I force myself to go ahead and text. I've never gotten back a reply saying don't text me again. I just
I
had
have.
it.
Not from
Have
Amy, but like
Oh,
someone that was like, I had their information from like a vendor event, and I changed my like my people on my phone. I started them with Cincy, and then I put their name and stuff on there. And some people I've had like I think 2
Yeah.
that have
I've probably
asked
had about 2 as well. But you know what I say to them? Whatever major loser whose mother works at McDonald's and washes windows. I mean, really, it doesn't feel good. And I'm always like, what? Like, why not just ignore it? Rude.
yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
fine because you're better off without them.
Yes, I get a lot of it ignore, but
Yeah. Well, that's
and
good.
then I
course
try
you-
to
Yeah.
I try to switch it up and not always just be about Cincy. I may just say, just checking in to see how you're doing. Hope everything's going well, or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Non-Cincy related check-ins.
Yeah, 'cause
Big.
that is hard. That is hard for me because I'm not one. I mean, when I say I'm friends, I mean I'm friendly with all of them, but I'm not somebody that just asks a lot of questions about your personal life. Some people they just are, and they just want to grab you and know
Yes.
everything about you. But I'm kind of, it takes a while for me to get there. I don't want them to think I'm just nosy or.
Yes, I get that.
So
But I think you what you said originally is that you're friendly, you're friends with them, and I think that is key. And that was one of my big first things when I was just thinking about it. That it certainly is a relationship business, and you have to be building those relationships and commenting on their walls. And that's not something that's in my comfort zone either. I'm more of a liker. I'll scroll and think, oh, I like that, or I'll actually might like it or something. But I have to force myself to comment. And even when I really care.
yeah.
It's just not, I think I've said that before. It's just not my normal response. I don't know. But I like when people comment on mine. So I'm trying to remember to do that more often because I think it is important. It just makes people feel noticed and cared about, and that will build your relationship. And yes, so we were talking about Amy. That's so huge. And when I do my thing, I'll talk more about it. But I let the notifications build up. I know you, Michelle, said you don't like to have the notifications, so you try really hard to clear them out. I get to a point where I have not cleared them out, but then I'm overwhelmed and I'm like, oh, just don't even want to, I just want to go clear them, even though I didn't do it and start over. It's like bad.
Yeah, no.
But just doing a few a day is really a huge, a really big thing for your business. So that's good. Do you use Amy very much, Shannon?
No, I've been debating on, like, at first I was like all into it, but then again, the stuff built up and I got kind of overwhelmed, and I never did like the membership of it and stuff, like when it had first come out with Cincy and everything. But I am fans of them like on Facebook, and I've been trying to like watch their videos, and I think one of the recent ones she talked about like the different stages that you're in, whether you're like researching and all that stuff. I feel like I'm kind of back in that, to like see if it will work for me. And I know that a lot has changed because I haven't even, like, I would say probably the last year I didn't even look at it. Like It's on my phone and whatever, but like, I don't know, I'm not up on all the new stuff that it has the capability of doing anymore.
Right. Well, it's good you're in the group. So we're talking about that app, Sell with Amy, Heather, and that it is super powerful. Michelle uses it really well. She clears out her notifications, touches base with her customers pretty regularly. Sometimes she checks in when it's just like, hey, how are you doing? It's not even Cincy topic or, a Cincy check-in. But it is really a powerful tool that I still haven't fully, dived into. And so like, and you can set reminders for how many days you want to do it, and it's huge. So I do really recommend it, and it does feel overwhelming, but they have videos on it, and they've got that group. And so it's saying my internet's unstable. Hopefully it hangs in there. Another thing just about customers is you've got to have ways to contact them. So if you don't use the Amy app, making a Google form and getting their information. And another thing to do, like Michelle, I mean, you and I have been doing this for a lot of years. And some of the people from the very beginning, like they haven't bought in years and years. And so an idea I had seen was to take and message everyone and just say, hey, I know you bought Cincy from years ago. It's been a really long time. I don't want to bother you if you're not interested anymore. But if you are, I want to make sure I have the most update information. And I want to be able to send you a little coupon in case you want to get something, or whatever. You can use your words, decide what you want to say. But you just want the most update information, and you want to send them a little. And then you'll get a lot of crickets. You won't hear from everyone, but the people you hear back from, you have established another startup of the relationship, and you will be able to have all the correct information. And in the workstation, especially, if you've been doing it for years, there is a way to merge duplicates in your contacts. That's pretty overwhelming for me too, because
I try and do that too. Or
yeah, so that's a good thing. Okay. Also, I would say with your customers, you want to make sure that you not only get their information and make sure you have it, but make sure they can get you. So what are some of the ways that you make sure your customers are connected with you?
well, putting your stickers
Well,
on
I like
everything
label.
and
Yes, label
label
everything. Absolutely. What else?
I always try and stock up when
Yeah.
it's like 40 or 50% off on the Vista print things.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I
Go ahead.
use, oh, sorry.
No,
I was gonna say I used some of those old testers, the bigger ones.
uh-huh.
I used them and I glued magnets on the back of them and put my sticker on the front and
I love it. Mm-hmm.
put it in their orders.
Business info, for magnets.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good one. That gets attention and smells good and sticks with them.
Yeah.
All right. Trying to get them to put you right in their speed dial. And I can't tell you, I have all these ideas, but half the time I'm like, I did not. I had someone last week that came and I didn't say, hey, let's make sure I'm in your phone. I didn't even do that. Now I know she has me because we've texted back and forth, but just to like literally say, hey, if you put me on your, your favorites, I'll give you a free something. Like that'd be funny. We'll get people to do it. And then making sure that you tell them, hey, I'd love you to like my Facebook page, or I would love to add you to my VIP group. Would you be interested? And make sure you become Facebook friends. A lot of people won't do that. And I understand whatever, but I tell you, if you realize what a relationship business this is, you do want to become friends with their customers. You don't have to be besties. You don't have to, go out in public and do things, but you want to be connected. You want them to see you, and I think you want them to see more than just Cincy. You want them to get to know you as an acquaintance friend, if nothing closer. So I really highly recommend you making sure you have their info, you update info that's old, and that they have yours in all these various ways. I'm sure there's some other ideas. If anybody has some, you can let me know. But yeah, labels and VIP groups, have them in your phone, all those things. Sometimes you can just say, hey, if you'll text me your information to my phone, I'll have a little free thing. I've got something for you, something special for you. That way they text you their info, you put it right in and they have yours. And I think that's a good thing. And you could say, hey, I'm going to offer you 10% off your first order, or whatever you decide, free shipping, whatever. Okay. And then we talked a little bit about follow-up. Anybody have like a really rigid or specific follow-up system they use with their customers?
No.
Other than Amy, no.
Okay. So Amy's a good one because it can be structured however you want. It'll remind you different task lists and things like that. It will say, hey, blah, blah, placed an order, send them a thank you. It'll say, it's been a while since you've talked to blah, blah, send them a message. That's a really good thing. A lot of people use like the 2, 2, and 2, or the 3, 3, and 3, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. They do it in all different kinds of ways. They sometimes get a binder, and they put the invoices, all in one little pocket, and then they move them to the 2 week, and then they move it to the, after they followed up. Some people do that kind of stuff. Some people have a file folder. Like there's all kinds of methods, but I think that when someone first orders from you or someone's bought from you, it is nice to send like the next couple days, like it was so nice to talk to you if you got to talk to them, or boy, I really appreciate that recent order. You're going to get so much good stuff. I can't wait till you get it and tell me how you like it. Just that little thank you kind of thing where you're just basically telling them you appreciate them. Then if you decide, okay, I'm going to let them have about a week or two, I think a couple weeks is good. Just say, hey, I'm just making sure you're liking all the things that came in okay. Any problems? Are there any cents you want to trade out? I'm always happy to trade out. If you got something that you didn't love, I want to make you happy, because that's part of great customer service. Some people starting off say, well, how can you do that? How can you take it back or whatever? You're going to sell it. You're going to sell it to someone else. If it's a bar, and even if they've used a cube, I personally have always said, I will take it back because I'll make samples or I'll use it myself if it's a scent I like. And as long as you don't find someone who's like abusing that, because there's certain people that would. I really never have had anyone that has abused that offer. I'm happy to trade. In fact, I went to my best friend's for spring break and she was like, I have so much Scentsy. Let's organize my cabinet. She knows I'll do that. So I pulled it all out and she was smelling things. She's like, I don't really like that one anymore. I'm like, okay. And for her, I mean, she gets my smelly box every month. So she's going to have things she didn't pick, things she doesn't necessarily love. And so I was like, oh, that's a favorite of mine. So she had picked 6 new bars. I took 6 bars that she didn't like anymore and I will use them. And some of them are brand new. I can sell them. So to me, I want to make people happy. And as long as someone's not taking advantage of that, I think it's a good practice to do. One of those follow-ups could just be, hey, do you need any bulbs? I'm placing my last order for the month. Do you need some spring scents? I know it's been a while. The last time you ordered, you were in the fall smells. Things like that are good things to just touch base with people. But some kind of follow-up system is very good to have. All right. Any other thoughts just general thoughts about customers? Ideas on where to get customers, because that's always a big one, especially for people just starting off or people in a rut. Give me some of your best tips for finding customers.
I use Facebook Marketplace and like post in like our neighborhood Facebook page and even the neighborhood where I used to live Facebook page and stuff. And especially if I do like, I'll do like an open house or a porch thing during COVID, or even I did a garage setup thing before Christmas. That was really good because I think December was like one of my biggest months that I've had. November, I don't remember if it was November or December, but and just people, like as you get customers and stuff, like somebody posted in our neighborhood who sells Scentsy and I replied, and then a lot of people that buy from me in the neighborhood are like, she's my dealer too, type thing. And then I actually got an invitation we're doing like a spring fling thing here next weekend on Saturday. And someone asked me that was putting that together if I wanted to put a booth out.
Good, yeah.
So I'll be doing that next weekend.
I have a question,
Yeah.
Shannon. So you put your Facebook Marketplace, do you use that to like when you did your porch or garage thing too?
No, mostly just like my neighborhood page.
Okay.
Not like out to like everybody, because then like obviously it has my address and stuff. Like people like showing up at my house like random. But we had a neighborhood garage sale, and I put I had garage sale stuff, and then I had Scentsy stuff out as well. And so if anybody from outside the neighborhood came, they had the opportunity to buy at that time. But mostly if I do those porch things or whatever, then it's just in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or I guess if they don't live in our neighborhood anymore and they're in our neighborhood group, then they get it. But they were
Right,
at some
right.
point in our neighborhood.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good. That's a great tip because that's not one I had on my list exactly. And you use Facebook Marketplace. Now, something for anyone that's listening that's not familiar, you can absolutely share anything that is corporate pricing, corporate sales, corporate things on any of those places. You can share the business opportunity and you can share, like, hey, I'm having an open house, events, the things you would need to be careful. Of course, the main one is stock. You just can't advertise.
Yeah, no, I never do
Selling,
that.
right, selling stock. And I know y'all know that, but it's just a good thing. So it is a good place to utilize it. And sometimes you'll get crickets, but only sometimes you get 1 or 2 customers. And like we were talking about earlier, you never know what that leads to. So even 1 customer is worth it and a good thing. Okay. What other ways do you get customers? Anybody?
At work?
At work? How?
Well, just my staff and people I work with and stuff.
They just know because they just know. Were you allowed to share?
It's really like, since I'm a manager, I'm not like, they know me because like I'll bring stuff to work and I'll give them samples and stuff, but I don't like pressure them to buy anything because they are my employees,
Right.
or mostly my employees. And then like some of the other managers have purchased stuff before. So, and I mean, they all know that I do. So
Yeah, some people have workplaces. I know Heather was talking to me. We talked on the phone and that she's just not allowed to do anything at work. Very, very strict. I know some places are that way. And if your work's that way, maybe your spouse's work, or a really good friend's work. Because sometimes we stop at like, well, my work doesn't allow it. My husband's work doesn't allow it, or nobody there likes them, or whatever the things are. But people everywhere that go to work. Well, you used to. A lot of people don't go to work anymore, but people who do still go to work, and they could share like a share bag, a tester thing, at least samples for you. And so that's good. Hey, Melanie, good to see you. She's on the move. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, my husband even, so 2 of the people that he works with purchased around Christmas time. And then I just sent a bunch of samples to work with him. And I mean, it's like his shift. It's not like the whole police department, because they have people that they work directly with too. But at least a few of them have got the information and stuff too. A lady that he used to work with just placed an order on Friday. So yeah.
That's good. Excellent. Any other ways y'all want to share that y'all get customers, you get new customers, you look to expand your circle?
I know Mary has done some online vendor things, and then I'm doing one, not the one that Megan, you came on for next week. I'm actually doing Scentsy on that one because it already had a Scentsy person. Gotcha. But anybody that I invited that is my customer and said, I'm doing this, I'm representing Unique. I've never really like sold it, only a few mascaras to people, and it's not like the main thing that I do. But they asked, because someone in there knew that I was technically a consultant for Unique, mostly for my own discount. And so they asked me to do Unique in there since I only, since they already had a Scentsy person. So anybody that I invited, I said, I'd like you to come. There's lots of other vendors, but if, I'm representing Unique, but also if you see any Scentsy stuff that you like, you can still come to me, because the Scentsy person that's in there is like out of state somewhere. So I just kind of gave that disclaimer to some of the other people.
Online vendor events or even in-person ones, when we kind of start doing that more, are always good ways. Sometimes you strike gold and get someone new that buys from you, and that's good. So that's good networking, right?
Yeah.
What other ways?
Fundraisers.
I am stuck. Can you hear me? Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm going to finally start the the mystery box. And so I'm doing it for April, and I made a little post about it, and I was very nervous because I've been battling back and forth with it. But as soon as I posted it, even though nobody liked it, I went to my Google Forms and I already had like 7 people who subscribed to it.
Nice.
So I was
Wow.
like, oh my gosh, yeah, I was very surprised. So I actually ordered the stuff for it. I mean, I had a goal for 36, but I just put it out there because I didn't want to make it a little tiny number. But I'll be happy if I can get 10. I made my deadline for the 26, so I'm going to post it again with the Google form. And like I said, I always get, I guess, a little discouraged when you have no responses to something. But the fact that I went in there and saw that many boxes already sold, I was like, wow. So I put their invoices together and I'm just waiting on payment. So that was pretty cool.
Awesome. That is very cool. And that's a good one. I don't think I even wrote it down, but that's one, you know, I've been doing for 3 years. Oh, I think I took 1 month off in 3 years. That's a lot of boxes, a lot of thinking, a lot of planning. I wish that I could say I have 50 people every month. I don't. I have about 10, but they're 10 consistent people. That in itself gets me to active every month, period, done. The better thing for people who are like, what are we even talking about? People on the replay. I mean, the better part of that is my 10 people, they know every product now. And they didn't know the products before. And so they keep, like I have one who buys laundry every time. She even did a Scentsy Club because of it. She never would have used laundry probably if she hadn't experienced it. And I spoiled them that month because that was when we had double host rewards and I used them and really worked the system. And I was able to give them a lot. And it was awesome. So they loved the laundry. I've got people who are ordering the pet stuff that would have never probably done it because I put samples of the pet stuff. So that's the real thing. And people still kind of get worried about like, how do you make money off of it? But if you're thinking through and planning well, first of all, you will make sure your price point at least breaks even. And then you get all the commission and you get your half and your, free product. So that's how you sell that and you've got a party and it's good. So that's exciting. I'm glad you had a good response. And the biggest part too in that, and it's something we're going to talk about here, but getting referrals. So in my box, I almost always put like, help me find somebody new to subscribe to a smelly box and get $5 off your next box, or, incentivize them to help you grow. So that's excellent. And are you part of that new group that just launched it has a weird name, but Christina Stainbrook's doing it for mystery boxes. It's a new one.
No, I didn't. I had to find, is it a secret? Is it a private group or?
No, I don't think it's private. It just launched like a week ago, and she is putting so much into it. So she's the one who basically started with boxes pretty much with like a couple people originally. And I think like Scent Crates, with box, whatever. And she had the group that a lot, like I know Michelle was probably in that group that gave a lot of ideas and helped out with materials. But there were so many issues with people doing non-compliant things that she basically, what is it called when you archive a group? And so she kind of kept it there so you could go look at ideas, but she didn't want her consultantship to be in question for anything. Being an admin, she could get in trouble. So she started this one fresh with different things, but it's great. And she's putting a lot into it. So I will share that group link that you guys can join. And I don't remember what it's called, but I'll look it up. But it has so much awesome material. So that'll help you out. What other ways do you get customers, especially for newer people or just people are struggling to get people? Anything else come to mind?
You just have to either be branding yourself, wearing a shirt or a hat, everywhere you go, and try to have samples with you or a business card, and leave it at the grocery store, at a restaurant, at the gas station. In the bathroom at Olive Garden.
Make a little, in the bathroom at Olive Garden, make your little Scentsy smell trail instead of a snail trail.
Yeah.
I like it. Make your little Scentsy smell.
I know Roxanne went to some event and she was handing out stuff. Some race car thing.
Well, and like people that handed out at Halloween, I've never been brave enough to do it. I'm just always like, I feel like just me, because I think it's smart and I love people do it. But what if someone thinks it's candy? Like you have to hand it to people, like this is for you. But I think that's
I did that the first year we lived here, but then I have been going out with the kids. So last year we just left candy on the porch. Sure, my mom or dad will be here and hand out candy.
and I'll go out with the kids. So,
Right. Well, Michelle hit several. First of all, I put on here, you have to be open for business. People have to know, you have to be working and consistent to get customers. If you're not doing that, and you all know this, but you know, that's something some people are not doing. And that's just never going to work. It'd be like having a business and you never open, and then that business would not do well. Do people know that you are Scentsy? You know, sometimes people do that thing on Facebook. Name 3 things that come to mind when you think of me. If Scentsy is not one, then you're probably not doing it right. You know, you think of what you would want people to think of you for. You want them to know that you and Scentsy go hand in hand. That when they think of you, that is one of the top things they know about you. You share it so much, not in an obnoxious, salesy way, but in a, I live it. I am Scentsy. I love it, and here's why. And that they get all the things about it. I had to be branded, sprinkle Scentsy everywhere you go. You've got to do the monthly samples. And I'm going to say this, I'm sure most of y'all do at least scent of the month or warm of the month, or if you don't currently, you did. But there's so many advantages to scent of the month. First of all, it's like, well, okay, I got it. So now I need to make it and get it out. So it makes you kind of have to do it. It also gives you that touch point every month to just say, hey, I've got your sample of the month. And it's never has to be a pressure thing like, oh, buy it. It's just a hand, and they get used to taking it from you. And it's that touch point. And not to mention what a great deal that is, because you get commission on your kit. You can write it off, you know, you could sell everything in it if you don't even want to make samples. So we all know that, but for the newer people, they may not know. And then also what a great thing that commission runs, and that day that goes in, you're like, whoa, look at all that PRV that went up. I think it's a really generous thing. Referral program. Does anybody have a referral program they use with their customers?
No, but I'd love some ideas.
Yeah, we should make that a task. Maybe we'll spread it out. I don't have it on my list right now, but this should be a task where we all work together to just make a real concise, really juicy, like good and enticing referral program. I've done it before where I have a little card and I've said some things on the back, and like get this with this and this with this, but I just need to simplify and make it really, I just need to do a better one. And fundraisers, people who starting off think, how can I give my salary away? But we all know that have done them. First of all, it's great to give back. Second of all, it is a tax write-off. And third, it is a great way to expand your circle. Parties, well, nobody said that, but parties is a great way to get customers. I think probably because a lot of people aren't having parties, but we want to try to have those parties. And then once you have the parties, of course, especially if they're online or a basket party and you didn't get to meet the people, it is imperative that you find a way to connect. I would say this one kind of goes into my other one that I have down the list, but Happy Mail. I know most of you are doing some form of Happy Mail, at least some, but I have gotten online customers, and when I have sent a really neat package that had some things in it that felt special, those are the ones that connect with me. You know, they're the ones who are like, oh, I love everything in the package. I'll get a text. Thank you so much. That package made me so happy. Whereas if I had not done that and I just texted, thanks for your order, not as much connection, you know, not as, they didn't feel as special. And that's what another big point, spoiling your customers, how to keep them, you know. What are some of the ways you spoil them? Anybody have anything particularly that they do pretty consistently for their customers?
Well, if I get an online order, I always send them a scent circle and tell them thank you. And I buy the scent circles like with my free, you know, I try to keep stocked up because they're inexpensive. They're only $3. And if I got them for free, but I just feel like because I have some regulars that order online all the time and they paid shipping, and, you know, I don't like to pay shipping. So I feel like I want to give them something to let them know I appreciate it. And then, like I said, I have a few that are regularly ordered that, like when the new catalog came out, I sent them the catalog with kind of like a party pack, you know, made it fun and with some samples and just thanked them. And, you know, I don't do that with everybody because that can get expensive, but these are ones that consistently order online.
Yeah. And I think that's important. Like, I think I mentioned this at some point. I finally went through and trying to make just a new and improved list of customers. I went through and I just I think I used my Amy app to do who spent the most with me to the least, you know? And so I pulled those into a spreadsheet, and it really helped me visualize, like, look at these people who are spending a lot with me. Look at these people. These are truly my VIPs. And these are the ones where the investment going back in is going to come back out. And so trying to make sure that what you give and send, it makes sense business wise, so that you are giving a little bit more to those that you know are going to keep buying. And the ones that have just bought once in a year, send them a little felt sample and a product sheet. Just something that still smells good, but that you don't want to send them as much. So yeah, that it needs to be cost effective, it needs to make sense, budget friendly, but something. And I do think Scent Circles and using your rewards for that is definitely, especially the half price perpetual reward. Even if you're using your other rewards for a hostess, you normally have that one. Okay, one thing I didn't say, but has anyone ever joined Facebook groups and that you're just like in areas of interest and then connected with someone that became a Scentsy customer?
No, I haven't done that.
Yeah, and I'm not good at that either. And I talked about that, I think, with the sponsoring week. A lot of people that are really successful at sponsoring make it a habit of joining. Like if they like scuba diving, they'll join a scuba diving group or 2 or 3. If they love Disney, they join the Disney group. If they're into silhouette, they're, whatever their interests are. And then of course they're probably good at commenting, which I've already said, we're not so great at that, but they're building relationships. Maybe they're sharing something that gets them connected with someone. And then eventually it turns into a connection and they find out you do Scentsy because you become friends. So that's a thought, especially for people who are home a lot or shy or don't get out and meet people. That's something to harness, that's a powerful method. So maybe for some people, it's not our comfort zone, but we know we need to get out of our comfort zone anyway. So that might be something to work on too. And just social engagement too. I am not the best at it. I'm okay, but I'm not the best. Like the people who are just have their following on Instagram, I'm not there. And maybe I need to focus on it. Maybe I need to hire somebody. I don't know. But the people
have Instagram, so
yeah, I get on it and browse it like every few days.
Yeah.
I post every once in a while, mostly something I've already posted on Facebook. So I'm not even good at making original content for it. I don't even know what a reel is. I know what a story is, but I don't quite understand. I think, oh, wait, why would you use them? But whatever. I guess people pay attention to them more often and all that. But there's so much there. If you really, really want to branch out, you could step up that engagement. And of course, we know, like, do y'all have a business page and a VIP group or one or the other?
I have a business page, but I've been thinking about maybe changing it to a group.
Yeah.
I think, well, I thought when I first started, 4 years ago now, that I set up like a business page, but maybe I set it up wrong because Mary, like, she posts all the time in her group and she like schedules posts, but whatever group I have, I can't schedule posts. So like I have to like do it real time and post it. So I guess I don't have the right one to be able to.
I think you have to have a group to do that, right?
Is it a group or a business page that you can schedule?
I know in a group you can schedule it.
I think it's a group.
Maybe I made a business page and not a group.
I think yours is a business page.
So
yeah.
And mine's a business page, but a few years ago, I'm like, I'm also going to start a VIP group, which sounds great, but I only added a few people and then I just didn't do anything with it because I'm like, I can't keep up with mine, the business page, blah, blah. Like I just
right.
But a lot of people are having success in groups that are better. Now we do have the joint Scentsy Party Peeps VIP party group. And that could be used that way too, but I just, it's a lot to post. I barely get to the team page and it's just hard. It's not my, I'm just not the best at it. So, but if you decide to focus on a VIP group, I think the key there, and Mary, I think is the best of anyone on the team. She just posts and she is consistent. She varies it up. It's not all Scentsy. She puts funny things, inspirational things, engagement.
Right. And she takes time and she sets it up for like the week or 2 weeks because she can schedule those posts and stuff. But that's my thing. It's like whatever group I have, I can't schedule. So I have to like post.
Well, you just need to
start. I don't have time for that.
Group. Yeah, you just need to start a VIP group. I'll double check on my business page that I can't schedule, but I thought we could. But anyway, I don't know.
However, I can't figure it out. However it is.
I understand. All right. Well, we'll see if we can figure that out. Okay. And then, so those were kind of my main thoughts of like, where do you get them? The referral thing is big, and we will work on that as a group at some point. And then how do you keep them, and how do you make them loyal? And so you were talking about, the happy mail, you send scent circles, use your rewards. You want them to feel like they're cheating on you if they buy from someone else. Like that's the point you want to have that relationship solidified to. It's okay if they buy from someone else occasionally, as long as they feel bad about it. That's what I've always thought. As long as I feel bad.
So I do have a story about that. So one of the discount tire managers' wives, they live just down Farmer or Ronald Reagan from us. And she used to buy from me all the time. And I've sent her messages, that I normally send and all that. And I've not gotten anything from her, but we're like friends on Venmo. So I've seen that she had bought, and it said Cincy from somebody else. But just last month, she placed an order online from me.
Interesting.
So I'm like, is that person not selling anymore? Or like, what's the deal? I don't know. So
it's so funny because this is two little things. Venmo gets people in trouble all the time. So one thing, somebody that a certain service that I use, I guess their sister-in-law saw on Venmo that I had posted a similar service to someone else. And the sister-in-law said something to the person. And so when I went back in for the service, they were like, oh, Baba said you did. I'm like, oh, like, that's so terrible. I was like, well, it was for my boys. And she was like, oh, okay. I was like, good grief. I need to make it private, I think. Because it's like
mine is private. I don't want
to make it private.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want people knowing my business.
No, I'm getting
I guess like if you become like friends with them, or they become like in your group that you are a favorite or something, that maybe you pay them frequently, so easier to find them, then you can see their stuff. Right. But if you just send someone a random payment, not everybody can see it.
Okay. Yeah.
That too. But honestly, when I say what I really mean is, I've had people say, oh, I bought some Cincy at a fair because they had the one bar I really needed, or I just needed bulbs right that second. And to me, that's fine, because first of all, great, that consultant got a little boost, and that's great, because they're still going to buy from me. And I've always felt like you should share the love. As long as they're coming to me and going, I'm sorry. I'm like, that's fine. Share the love. I'm always here. You got me. It's not a big deal. I believe in that. But honestly, sometimes the other one is a friend of mine said, she's a photographer, and she basically said, it hurts her feelings sometimes when she sees someone do pictures with someone else. I'm like, sometimes people need different perspectives. They still love you. They still value your abilities. They'll probably come back to you, but if they've used you 2 or 3 times in a row, they might want to see what someone else would do. And it could be the same with Cincy. Maybe they're like, well, we're loyal to you, but it's my neighbor's party, and I just wanted to support my neighbor. Great. She should support her neighbor. I'm just bummed I didn't get to do the party, like that's it. Yeah. So just remember to always make that relationship so strong that they feel like they're cheating on you, but they're going to come back to you. And it's okay if they go with someone else. How to keep them, make them loyal, spoil them. It doesn't have to be cost stuff. It can be, giving them a coupon. It can be giving them free shipping or half off shipping, or giving them samples, or give them the old testers that you're just like, oh, I have testers out my ears. I'm just going to give you a little thing of testers and have fun. Throw out the ones you don't like, or share them with someone else. Yeah. And of course, just sometimes it's just making their packages pretty, or putting a cute thank you inside. It doesn't have to be things that are real expensive. All right. I was thinking of like how to put your customers to work for you. I didn't really get to develop that very much, but having like a VIP hostess club where you make them feel really special. Maybe you already have some hostesses who buy a lot all the time. I know some people have done it where, I guess it's compliant. I probably should double check. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but like you have 12 people, you get 12 people who promise to buy like the $200 at some point, and everybody does it. And then they get host rewards once 1 month is their month, things like that, or a sample of the month club. You can do that to keep them kind of coming, where they just sign up to do the whole year, get a bar each month. Maybe you give them a little bit of a price break. but the fact that they're just like the experimental type that likes to get different scents all the time, they get the bar. I've done that in the past. And then how to reward them. And I would say, obviously, the host rewards are good. A lot of people get that are struggling with sales or struggling with getting customers start to think, I got to discount stuff. I just got to sell it cheap. And I just want to encourage everyone that Scentsy holds its value. You may feel that way, but as soon as you think, I can't sell that Amber Hollow ever, I'm just going to give it away, somebody's going to want it.
My neighbor across the street.
Exactly.
I need to follow up with her and say, how do you like your Amber Hollow? And I have 3 more bars of it if you want.
That's right. Hey, I'll do a buy 2, get 1 free. But honestly, I remember that my story about the tiki warmer, it was a long time ago and it was an interesting warmer. I mean, it was like a tiki face and it was not the prettiest. And when I got it, I thought, who is ever gonna buy it? Because it was a warmer of the month years and years ago. And I just remember thinking, who's ever going to buy this? And then one of my best customers was like, oh, I love it. I have to have it. And she was so excited about it that I lost my mind. I was like, okay, I'm going to order another one. Known that was the one that was meant to be. So I ordered the second one. I'm like, I'm gonna have this forever. Nobody ever looked at it, wanted it. And I don't know, I don't think any of y'all were there, but I did a Christmas party, a team Christmas party here. We did like a gift exchange, an element. I don't remember if we said bring Scentsy things that you don't want or something, but we did a white, gift exchange, white elephant. And I put the tiki in, and the people who got it, I think it was Jesse, he's on the team again. He was so excited. I'm like, hallelujah. Like he went to a happy home. Like there's always somebody that wants it, is my point. So you really don't have to devalue it. You just need to know, you've got to share it with people, and you've got to know that it will be bought. Sometimes people looking for something rare, you'll be like, oh, I've got it. Yes. And they'll trade you and you get something newer. So just, I would say you really want to use the host rewards to spoil them, little perks, connection. What else comes to mind for spoiling? Obviously the starter kit. I mean, the host exclusive, getting in the habit of trying to spoil them with that at almost no cost out of pocket or no cost at all, things like that. So one other thing I wanted to talk about is how sometimes when you're like, I can't think of anyone new, and I've made my list of 100 like 100 times, sometimes doing something like, I'm just going to think of somebody that I know, somebody, and you could think of a trait like somebody who's really involved in everything, like one of the busiest people that you know. Can you think of someone that's super busy, and you write down their name? So you'd be like, okay, I know someone's really busy or really connected. And you write her name and you put it in the circle. And then you say, okay, now I'm going to think about like, who does she know? Well, she's on the school board. So I'm going to put school board. They do basketball, and you put that on a different one. You go, they're from Texarkana. That's her hometown. Like, I don't know anybody in Texarkana. She likes to travel. And you just basically start doing like this little bit of a web, diagram. And you can say, you can just keep going like, oh, her daughter's in Girl Scouts. So she knows all the Girl Scout people. I'm just doing off the top of my head on one of my really close friends. And if you sat down and did that with like 10 of your closest friends, and then you said, hey, Megan, I want to give you something special. I'm looking to expand my business. Will you help me grow it with a few names? And she'd be like, yeah, I don't know anyone. You say, well, actually, what about from the Girl Scouts? Do you know, like, is there anybody from Girl Scouts you would think might want to get some free Happy Mail? Oh, well, yeah, maybe blah, blah, blah. Okay, but, well, what about from your hometown? You haven't, so you help them because you have something concrete. The other thing you can do without a specific name is you could say, okay, I'm going to do people with blue eyes. And you think of like some friends with blue eyes and you start writing their names. You're like, no, my father-in-law has blue eyes. And that's not someone I would normally ask for help with my business, but he has blue eyes. So I'm going to write him down. You start writing all the people with blue eyes down. And then you go, okay, well, then you can branch off of those and say, well, he has work. He's in the, what's the Optimist Club? And you see what I mean? Like you start doing that and all of a sudden you've got all these people to start contacting and trying to grow your business. Pretty cool. So that's the main stuff I want to talk about. I appreciate your feedback. I do have my tasks kind of right now for the week. So let me go over those. hopefully we get some people getting lots of points with these. I'm going to make my polished video with these ideas and a few more tips. You're already getting points for being on Zoom, so that's good. But if you watch the polished video that'll come out in a day or two, and comment on something that you learned or something that you do also. Hey, someone needs to take the dog out. Case. Oh, I guess they're all outside. Sorry, she's ringing the bell. She's gonna pee on something.
Aw.
She peed on my brand new rug. I did get the kind that you can wash, but oh, Nala, come on. Hang on. Y'all hold that thought. Come here, Nala.
Okay.
She might poop. Come here.
Our dog could just open the back door by herself.
She can? But
Yeah.
with the handle?
Yes, so we have the handles that are like that,
Yeah.
and she can jump on it and let herself out. She
Did
hasn't
y'all
figured out how
teach
to
her?
close it behind her though.
Okay, sorry.
So did
Nala.
y'all teach her to do that?
No, she just did it. We had to put a gate up. My boys' bedrooms are like in a little hall with a bathroom, and we had to put a gate up there because she would just go and let herself into their rooms and find random things to eat, you know.
That's hilarious.
So, and she can let herself back in too, even though the door swings out. She can let
Oh,
herself
that's
back in.
funny.
Well, our dog is, we've got bells on the front and the back door, and she rings the bell when she wants to go out. And so earlier when I was doing my live, she was ringing the bell, but nobody was in here. And so I couldn't stop. Well, I had just thrown out 4 rugs in my house because she's peed all on them. And they're to the point I'm like, whatever. And so I bought one of those ruggables that's washable that they've been advertising on Instagram all the time. And so I got a big long runner for the front door. Well, no one let her out and she went over and peed on it. So we're testing out the washableness now. And the only other rug I still have down is my Scentsy rug. And so she was starting to, after she rang it a bunch and nobody let her out, she was coming over here. I'm like, oh no, she's about to poo on it probably. Anyway, okay. Well, that's
fun.
yeah, they're not fun at all. Anyway. Okay, so watch my video, comment, and that's an easy one. Spoil your customers. Share a picture or a video of how you spoil your customers. That should be easy for you guys. You'll get 25 points for that. Expand your circle, which is exactly what I was just showing y'all. Make a web chart of at least 30 new customers to contact. And then Happy Mail. Make 5 to 10 Happy Mail the items for your VIP customers and share a picture of what you're sending. If you just did it, you know, maybe do 5 to some that are a little lower down on the list. And then go live on our team page and share your own tips for great customer care. That one's worth 50 points. So I know Michelle will do it. She's gonna,
anything to
be all up on that. Place. That's right. She got to maintain first. So that's the main thing. I think probably the thing some people probably struggle with customer care and retention and loyalty and relationship building. A lot of you guys are really great at that, but I think the new customers and the get referrals and growing and expanding is probably what most people struggle with. But hopefully these are some ways that will help and that'll be good. So I'm gonna stop the recording. Thank y'all for being on. Y'all hang on just a second. Just stop it. Stop it.